Giving us a perspective of the happenings going on currently in the county of Migori, one of the counties that did not participate in the just concluded presidential poll. Here in the county of Uasin Gishu, the perspective is a bit different. This is one of the counties that did take to that particular presidential poll. Political analysts may argue or observe because it is largely a Jubilee affair. We're now joined by Area Governor Jackson Mandago to put even that into deeper perspective and understand what did happen. So before we talk about Uasin Gishu, my colleague Enoch Sikole was just giving us details about what is happening in Migori and by large Kisumu and also the neighboring county of Siaya. We did see that Kenyans there did not participate in this particular presidential poll following calls from their presidential candidate and from the NASA team. Then moving forward as a country, where does this live? Does this indicate clear divisions, or is it just political rivalry?
Thank you very much, Lois. I think first and foremost, let me say that as the Supreme Court ruled that the presidential elections has to be repeated within 60 days, IEBC has done their best, and we've seen that there's been voting in at least not less than 42 counties. What we've seen in Kisumu, Siaya, and so forth, and for your information, there was voting in Migori, only that hooligans went to sabotage the process in some of the constituencies where voting was going on. By and large, that tells you that a majority of Kenyans were willing to take to the vote and make their decision on who will be their president. And let me also say that even in Kisumu and Siaya and Homa Bay, should those polling stations, if those polling stations were open, I want to assure you that there are Kenyans who would have gone to vote. In fact, what I suspect is that there was sabotage by the presiding officers and all those who are given opportunity by IBC to serve, because they didn't open the polling station. So we cannot say conclusively that there were no people willing to vote in Kisumu, Siaya, Homa Bay, or Migori.
Okay,
The only time we can do that is if the polling station were open and there was 0-0 vote, then we would say they did what NASA said. As it is now, we are not sure. We are waiting for the repeat poll. Is it on 28 in those counties? Then I want to assure you that you will see that some people will turn up to vote.
And let's talk about Uasin Gishu County. Like a majority of other Jubilee strongholds, we did see that there was a bit of voter apathy. I will give you an example of Tarbo constituency. The voter turnout there was 49%, and it is one of the constituencies that is absolutely vote rich. And this has also been observed in constituencies within central Kenya, which is also another Jubilee stronghold, in which Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto were relying heavily for them to be re-elected back to power. What could have caused these observed voter apathy in Jubilee strongholds?
First and foremost, let me say that a majority of Kenyans were not satisfied with the decision of the Supreme Court in annulling President Kenyatta's win. And therefore, that dejection is what partly contributed to them not going back to vote, because they were not convinced of the reasons that were given. And therefore, a majority were not enough, they were not motivated enough to go back to vote. And secondly, most of the voters, you know, are people who live in those counties, but a majority of them work outside the county. So probably people considering they have to travel, go and vote, and you know, last time they traveled, went and vote, and the certainties in the courts, and you know, there were so many. By the way, I was surprised that NASA had filed 51 petitions in court. To mean they were really not keen on this election going on.
Finally, Governor, before I let you go, immediately after President Kenyatta voted in Gatundu, he did note his biggest milestone, even if he'll be elected back to power, is bringing Kenyans together to a point of fighting negative ethnicity, if you may, tribalism. To what extent is this eating into the national cohesion? And even from where you sit as an influential governor from the North Rift, what contributions will you be doing to ensure that if indeed Uhuru Kenyatta is elected back to power, then national cohesion and unity are some of the items that you'll be dealing with as Jubilee?
It is not if indeed Uhuru Kenyatta will be elected. He is already elected. What we are waiting for is when the president will be sworn in. Secondly, and I really want to tell you people in the media, political competition is not a difference among us people who live. And I want to tell you, look at this county where we stand here today. In this Uasin Gishu, we carry all tribes in this county. When we kept telling people before 8th of August that the election in this place will be peaceful, during, on and after, so many people never believed us. When we say that this election of 26, those who want to go and vote will go and vote, and those who don't want to go and vote, they will remain and nothing is going to happen, so many people did not believe. So what we are saying is we don't expect a situation where at some point all Kenyans will think the same, agree on the same opinion, and vote for one candidate. It's not possible. It's not possible. Even if the election of 8th of August was upheld, still there would be people who voted for Uhuru Kenyatta, there would be people who voted for Raila Odinga, there would be people who voted for Dida, there would be people who voted for other candidates, but that does not mean that Kenya is not cohesive. However, what we are witnessing in Kenya today is not the will of the people deciding that, you know, there's a problem in this country, but a section of politicians actually inciting them. You know, when you hear Raila Odinga saying we are going to tell our people not to take what from what region, not to buy what from what, that is economic sabotage. That's no longer about election, it's no longer about politics. And I would want to tell you for free, nothing is going to happen. You know, with county governments, Kenyans are already satisfied that they have a small government that takes care of their interests within the region. So this thing of national, and I want to tell you, by the time we do 15 years or 20 years into devolution, this question of residency, whoever will win, nobody will even bother. Okay. Because most services, you know, will be given. I mean, it's not like before, where citizens felt if somebody wins the president, he has gone with the whole government, he has gone with everything. At least people will say now, okay, my candidate did win for presidency, but you know, I have a governor here, county government here, we can run to for some service and we get. So we don't expect there's any problem. And of course, you know that we in Council of Governors have always operated as one unit, and that will help build the cohesion. We are only encouraging those counties that never voted and have been given a chance to vote again, that let them exercise their democratic right. Those who want to go and vote, let them go and vote. Those who don't want to vote, let them stay at home.
Thank you.
Politics come and go, but
you.
This nation is there to stay.
Thank you very much. That is Area Governor Jackson Mandago just speaking to us and explaining the sort of situation that has also been observed here in the county of Uasin Gishu. Great voter apathy in some constituencies, voter turnout standing slightly over 40%. And he says this is an indication that Kenyans are indeed tired of this long election period.